Hello everyone, my name is Vladislav and today is 4th of March 2022 and something like a ninth day of the Russian invasion in my home country, Ukraine. And this is another video that I'm recording about this whole situation with the purpose of keeping my circle of friends, colleagues, or just whoever I can reach informed about what's going on. It's been a few days since I recorded because it takes a lot of time to produce these videos, and I was focusing on something else in these days. Yeah, and in general, there is a lot of coverage on the news about the entire situation, and the news with every day they look the same, more or less. Yeah, there are some victories, there are some losses. So I'm just going to give you some highlights. And the first point that I would like to address is something that I noticed, and it's the focus of some media and of some journalists or generally some people. I've seen several times that the issue of racism towards refugees was brought up on the media or among my friends. I even had a few conversations about that. But generally, what I would like to say about it is that, first of all, the Ukrainian government already addressed it, and they said that women and children are prioritized at the border. Also, with the evacuation, they are prioritized. So, if some men of different nationalities do not get in immediately, or if they are asked to follow a different procedure to leave the country, there could be a reason for it, and please do not jump to conclusions. Yeah, on the other hand, there is a war in Ukraine. There are such horrible things that are happening that if someone is alive right now on the territory of Ukraine, they should be happy. And I strongly believe that everyone has to be given an equal opportunity to, leave the country right now if they cannot or do not want to participate in the war, in the fighting. But if they are alive, if they are well, if they're healthy, that is already a positive thing. And another point is about the focus. Yeah, there are such bigger issues right now to cover in Ukraine than racism. That it's like you're seeing a tree, but you're missing a forest. Yeah, when you think that it's either more important or more worthy of your attention. For example, there is a humanitarian crisis in many cities happening right now. Russian occupants, they are not letting the trucks with food, with water, with some other basic goods to reach the people who are stuck there. People can't leave their soggy and moist basements. People have been sleeping in the basements for 9 days, some of them for 9 days already. Some of them are stuck under the ruins of buildings. They cannot get out. There is no communication. They are literally dying there. And the International Red Cross organization is not doing that much to help them. Russians are not even letting us do something about it. So this is, in my opinion, the most important thing to tackle. And another one is, of course, to end this war, and not something else. Personally, that is what I'm trying to focus my attention on, and in this video as well. Yeah, like for example, why are they doing this? Why are they not allowing the food and water to come into the cities? It's because it's part of their dirty tactic. They basically surround the city, then they are not letting anyone in or out. They starve people, and it exhausts them. It morally exhausts them, and then they are ready to surrender. They surrender the city. And then of course Russia brings their people in. They start bringing them food, they start bringing them water, they show them Russian media, they don't show them the Ukrainian media, the Ukrainian TV channels or radio. It's all blocked. Like, this is what is happening in Kherson right now. There are very special conditions how the food and water are delivered into the city. They already cut out the Ukrainian media entirely, and they are showing more than 20 Russian TV channels to them to start the brainwashing machine. And then they will kind of push an image of themselves like they are the saviors. They came there to save the people. And they will also make a nice video where people who were brought from Crimea, people who were brought from Russia with buses and with trains, they will go on a demonstration, they will wave the Russian flag, and they will say, "Thank you, Putin, for saving us." This is all part of the tactic to show to the world, and especially to Russians, to keep this image alive, the image of Russia saving Ukrainians from the Nazis. And this is actually what Russians believe. There was a poll in Russia, and also I saw some interviews online where the Russian citizens are asked, so do you support Ukraine? Is it necessary? And they say, yes, it is necessary, because it prevented a war on a Russian territory. So they believe that if Putin hadn't attacked Ukraine, the war would have happened at a certain point on the Russian territory. And when they were asked about the sanctions, they believe that the West hates Russia so much, the sanctions were going to be implemented anyways. And the West only used this opportunity to implement them now and not later. So yeah, and some other Russians believe that the sanctions are actually helping Russia, because now the Russian factories will start working, the Russian economy will rise, and they think that it's actually a positive thing. And you can understand what's the extent of brainwashing and misinformation that is happening in that country. And on the other hand, well, good job, Putin, yeah, to pull it off. I don't even know how they are doing this. I mean, I do know how they're doing this. I do not know how people are believing this. But anyways, there are also rumors of Russians that the Russians will make a deep fake video. So they will use machine learning to generate a video of Zelensky announcing the surrender of Ukraine and the capitulation of our army, which is totally fake. And they are actually, at the moment, they're already spreading the fakes, but yeah, doing this kind of fake video with the face and basically an indistinguishable video from the true one, where our President Zelensky is announcing the surrender. This is going to deal some pretty good damage. And this made me thinking, like, why don't we make a fake video of Putin, you know, apologizing to Ukraine? So maybe I'll start researching about deep fakes. But anyways, yeah, this is funny and sad at the same time. I'm just trying to stay positive. Yeah, Ukrainians are actually staying still positive. There was a poll among Ukrainians. I lost the source, to be honest, but I think the company that did the poll reported 98% of that 98% of Ukrainians actually believe that we will win. I believe that we will win. Maybe it was a fake statistic, I don't know, but I hope it's true. And whatever can keep the morale of the population up right now and does not totally misinform them, it's I think it's beneficial. Yeah, because I see a lot of my friends, they're so tired of this, and they are just mentally crashing, and it's super difficult for everyone to go through this psychologically. Yeah. Then, there's no information about the losses of on the Ukrainian side yet. So the total losses are still not being announced, but believe me, they're huge, especially among the civil population. And yeah, there are children who are dying. Our army people are dying, and the civilians are dying. What I can tell you about though is how many are reported to be killed on the Russian side. So we are reaching almost 10,000 soldiers killed. And there was an estimate done by some company that around 3 million US dollars worth of military equipment was destroyed. But to me, it sounds very small and little. Like $3 million doesn't seem much, considering that we destroyed like more than 250 tanks and like, you know, helicopters and fighter jets. All that stuff is really expensive. So 3 million doesn't seem like a very big number to me. But yeah, that's what I saw. On the other hand, yeah, today once again NATO had some kind of meeting. They had a discussion and they decided that they will not help. And this made me very mad, of course, because while our people are dying, they are scared to even cover the skies and stop the missiles. And stopping the missiles would really help. Honestly, yeah, of course, NATO has to protect the members of NATO. And well, Ukraine wanted to join NATO for a really long time, but Russia was blocking it historically and they were not accepting us. So all this time they were not accepting us because it was a risk. And now they're not helping us because it was a risk. In the meantime, my country is dying, children are dying, and basically the effectiveness of what NATO is doing is the same as somebody putting the Ukrainian flag as their profile picture on Facebook, or making a post sending us thoughts and prayers. And this is really sad, which is why, yeah, I would like to ask you, when you go to protests, when you post something on social media about the war, please focus on two things. First of all, people who are stuck in the occupied cities, people who need to be evacuated, people who are lacking food and water. This has to be dealt with, because they will die in a few days if they don't have that. And the second point is that we get actual military support from the NATO, because the only difference right now between the NATO participating and not is actually bringing the men or the soldiers into the country, because we already get the weapons from our Western allies, weapons that we use to kill the Russian soldiers, but we just don't get the people. So the NATO ammunition is participating in the war, and but the NATO soldiers don't. And this makes the difference in some sense, yeah. I think in the end, Putin doesn't care if not NATO gets involved. And I'm not an expert, of course, but I just want, you know, I just want my people to stop dying, and that's it. Yeah. So please do that. Please try to focus your impact, yeah, that you can do your messages towards these two issues. On the other hand, I did a fundraiser to buy medical kits, so first aid kits, and two-way radios for the Ukrainian army, and I collected more than 5,000 euros in 2 days, and this is absolutely amazing. I never expected this money to be collected. And I am just eternally grateful when I saw that people actually do care and they want to help. And I promise I will do my best to keep working towards ending this war in every way I can, and that this money will go to a good cause. I'm not taking anything for myself, and I'm putting a lot of my money in. And the first portion of this purchase was already sent to Ukraine today. And the good news is that I didn't use like official or more larger kind of organizations that send help to Ukraine, because it takes 4 to 5 days between me bringing a box to them and the box ending up in the hands of the army. But I used a reliable volunteer who goes in between Germany and the Polish border, and then at the Polish border people from Ukraine pick it up and they bring it directly to the army. So he told me that the stuff, the 4 boxes that I sent today, will be in Ukraine tomorrow, and this is absolutely fantastic. In any case, yeah, thank you very much for attention. Stay strong. Remember that together we will win. In our unity, with your support, Ukraine will win. And of course, Slava Ukraini.